Imagine waking up in a medieval town where silence spreads faster than words. Streets once filled with merchants and laughter now echo only with the toll of church bells. Families vanish overnight, villages collapse, and fear becomes the language of survival. This was the Black Death, the deadliest plague in human history. A pandemic that didn't just kill, it reshaped the destiny of Europe. The story begins far from Europe. In the 1330s, China and Mongolia were already suffering devastating outbreaks. Trade routes carried not only silk and spices, but also rats and fleas infected with a lethal bacterium, Yersinia pestis. Merchant ships became floating coffins, bringing the plague into Mediterranean ports. Genoa, Venice, and Marseille were among the first to face the invisible invader, and from there the plague spread like wildfire. Within just a few short years, the plague reached France, Spain, England, and eventually even Scandinavia and Iceland. No corner of Europe was safe. The Black Death struck in three terrifying forms. The bubonic plague, marked with grotesque swellings called buboes, killed within a week. The septicemic plague poisoned the blood, turning skin black and leaving victims dead within hours. The pneumonic plague spread through the air, infecting lungs and wiping out entire households in days. No one understood the science. To terrified communities, it was divine punishment, sorcery, or the work of demons. Priests preached repentance, flagellants whipped themselves in public squares, and rumors spread faster than the disease itself. In just 4 years, the plague swept across the continent. The 100 Years' War was interrupted, agriculture collapsed, famine followed, and trade routes fell silent. Cities emptied, and fear ruled every corner. Entire communities turned against minorities, blaming Jews, foreigners, and even lepers. In Strasbourg alone, 2,000 Jews were massacred in a single day. Fear bred violence as much as disease, leaving scars that lasted for centuries. The Black Death didn't just kill, it transformed culture. Death became a constant companion, inspiring art, literature, and music. The Dance of Death showed skeletons leading kings, popes, and peasants alike, reminding everyone of mortality. Plays, songs, and chronicles painted a Europe obsessed with the inevitability of death. Even centuries later, the eerie image of plague doctors with their beaked masks became symbols of fear, resilience, and human desperation. These doctors, dressed in long leather coats and masks stuffed with herbs, were hired not only to treat the sick, but to count the dead. Their strange appearance became one of the most haunting icons of the era. Paradoxically, devastation opened doors to change. With fewer workers, wages rose. Feudal obligations weakened, giving peasants more freedom. Innovations in farming and sanitation emerged. Cities began to invest in sewage systems, burial practices, and waste removal, slowly laying the foundations of modern public health. Though the plague killed nearly 40% of Europe's population, over 100 million worldwide, it also paved the way for social and economic transformations that shaped the Renaissance. Out of tragedy came progress, and from despair, a new world slowly emerged. The Black Death was more than a disease. It was a turning point in human history. A reminder of how fragile societies can be and how resilience can rise from tragedy. This was the plague that shook Europe. So, did you know about the damage caused by the plague? Don't forget to subscribe and hit like to support the channel and turn on notifications to get alerts for new videos. See ya!